Hello and welcome to the third video in a series of training videos on how to be successful in multi-level marketing. This one is titled The 4 Things You Must Do, and we're going to do it in two parts because it is getting down into the operational side of multi-level marketing, and it gets a little more involved. Even though there's 4 main things that you must do, we're going to break it up into 2 different presentations. My name is Rob Lemke. I'm a lifestyle trainer with approximately 20 years of experience in multi-level marketing, so hopefully I can bring that experience to bear as we go through the presentation together. If you're ready to go, let's do it. All right, so 4 things you have to do as an absolute must in multi-level marketing. Anybody who's made any money at all in multi-level marketing either did and are doing right now in present these 4 things. But rather than get into detail with all of those guys, this is your trip to success right now. What we're going to do is basically put you in a car and take you from rainy Washington to sunny California. And then when we arrive in California, this signifies success. Okay, that means that you've made it to the top. You're successful in your organization. So whatever that definition of success is. So what are those 4 things, and how do we get there? Well, very simply, the 4 things are: the first thing that you have to do, you have to get in and get started. I mean, that sounds pretty obvious, right? But this is a sticking point because on the one hand, you're very easily you can spend a little bit of money, sign up, and you're in, right? On the other hand, it's a decision that you make, which will be something that changes your life, actually. So getting in and getting started is both quite simple, but also quite life-changing. And that's the idea here, okay, with multi-level marketing. The second thing is, as you start your journey, or even before you start your journey, you have to buy gas and oil. These are consumables, and you have to put them in your car to make your car go, right, using the product. That's what it signifies in terms of MLM. You have to use the product. And then the third thing that you must do in any multi-level organization is a multi-level marketing organization, is to shift into high gear. Okay, and we'll see that there's different stages of getting into high gear. You can't just go from neutral, for example, into high gear. You have to go to first and second and third and fourth, and then into overdrive. So we'll go through those each as we go through the presentation in part 1 and part 2. The 4th thing that you must do in a multi-level marketing organization is to share with friends. So this is kind of talking about having customers, okay, who are your friends. You're selling the product to them at retail because you found out that the product works for yourself, and you begin to say, hey, this has really worked for me. Maybe you have to try this for yourself. And they end up being a regular customer for you. Friends, retail customers, okay? So those are the 4 main things you have to do. Let's break them down. On the first part that you have to do, getting in and getting started. You have to get in that car, and you got to turn the key to turn it on. So nobody in multi-level marketing has ever made any money without getting in the car. And that means taking out a little bit of money and signing up and following the program. So you choose the program, and that becomes your vehicle. So you go to the site and you sign up, and these days everything is automated. So even if you're buying a book or doing whatever, going to Amazon, and all those things have an automated payment system, along with all of the MLM companies. They have exactly the same setup. It becomes very easy to do this sort of thing. And so getting in, getting started these days is one of the simplest things you can do, but also keep in mind that it is a life-changing event once you get started, okay? Basically, you could spend no money at all, or $12.50, or go up to even $500 or $1,500. And give you an example here with JEUNESSE, the company that I'm with now. They asked me when I started for $36. Plus, I had to buy a kit. Between my wife and I, we bought a kit of products that we could start to use ourselves. And this is really important because it's petrol for our vehicle, right? So the one that we bought, I think, was around $1,200. But note, too, that if you're a little short on cash, you can get started for $169, for example. But the main thing is getting petrol for your car. And the more you buy, the farther you can go with that car because you got more petrol to use, as we'll see in the next few slides. So about petrol and oil, the consumables, these are the products. So you need to you're using up the fuel and oil on your journey, okay, as you use the product. Therefore, it's necessary to replace those products. The consequence of not replacing gas in the car or oil in the car means that that vehicle is going to stop. It's going to sit on the side of the road. It doesn't help you in your journey towards success. It sits and stops. That's why it's so important, so critical to put the petrol in the car to keep it moving towards success, okay? And when we talk about multi-level marketing, these companies work best with consumables, as you can see, right? You use the products, you buy them again, and then you buy them again next month, and next month again, and yes, again next month. It's a regular buying every month, okay? You must use the products yourself. This is the second thing in those 4 you must do in any multi-level marketing organization. Because why? Because it's petrol for your vehicle. It keeps your vehicle going along towards success on your journey to success. All right, so that's the very important thing. But besides that, why is it that I must use and replace? Why is it some people object and they say, you have to buy so much product in this company? Why is it that we always have to buy product? Well, the first part we told you, it's critical for your journey because it is the petrol. But secondly, it builds, one word here, credibility. It builds your credibility. It means that people come to you. You can talk about the product, how it impacted you in your life. It makes you more authentic when you're talking to people. For example, when I started with JEUNESSE, I decided to go with their fitness and weight loss programs because it's something that I basically desperately needed. I was very overweight, and so I started using their product and following their exercise programs and the eating program that they have. Everything is in a package, and you have a lot of support from the people in the company. So it ends up being something that was very effective for me, and I've lost close to 30 kgs up to now, and very happy with the result. And it makes me able to tell people about it in an authentic way. Why do you use the products? One, for petrol, and two, to gain that credibility and authenticity in your story to your future customers and to your future sponsors as well. So very important to use the products and replace again and again. Yes, you become the biggest user of the products. Okay. So just to reemphasize, we're still on the second thing you have to do. Remember, in presentation 1, we were talking about the 780 distributors. Well, guess what? Each one of those, as we said before in presentation 1, they're buying and using the product, right? And if you look at any organization, whether it's a traditional one or in multi-level marketing, that is a huge amount of goods being moved. That's a huge amount of product being moved every month by your network organization, right? That's a huge volume. And this is really the advantage of a business that has a vehicle that uses consumable products. In other words, you're putting petrol and putting petrol and you're putting petrol to keep you on your journey towards sunny California, towards success. Okay, most multi-level marketing companies actually fit that category where you've got consumable products that are being used and bought every month. Okay, and as we emphasize again, when you start using the product yourself, you become kind of like a natural ambassador for the product. It makes you authentic and credible in front of customers, as well as your future downline, your future sponsors. Why is that? Well, basically, the network is one of the most efficient ways for moving product, and that's the reason that multi-level marketing it gets so successful, is because they use the marketing network in order to distribute product. Okay, and with the money they save from not having to do marketing and not having to do sales, they put all of that money into product development. And in the end, you have a product then is going to be much higher quality than you would ever find in a retail store. And because of that, that's why you get so many tremendous impact stories from people who join multi-level marketing, because the product quality is high and it does have a real and lasting impact that changes people's lives, essentially. That's what it's done for me. So I can say that with authenticity and credibility. And I don't care if you believe me or not, because that's the way it is with me. That's my story. You can see even in my actions here and the way I'm expressing it, I'm sure you get the vibe that, yeah, this really worked for him. And that's what I'm trying to get across. Okay. Okay, so then we move to the third thing that you must do in any multi-level marketing organization, and that is to get yourself into gear, get yourself into high gear. But you can't start in neutral and go into high gear right away. You start in neutral and you go up in parts, right? So here we are in the driveway, for example. We've packed everything for the journey. We filled up with fuel and oil. We put the key on. The throttle is down. The motor is racing. But guess what? We're in neutral. Are we going to get anywhere? We're not going anywhere. We're not going to California. We're not moving towards success because we're not in gear yet. So when I say in gear, I mean getting into high gear, okay, not starting in high gear. Because to get into high gear, it takes a gear changing stages from first gear to second gear to third gear, and then into high gear, and then into overdrive, as we're going to see in part 2. So that ends this presentation, the part 1 of this presentation. Hopefully you've enjoyed it and you're able to take something away from this. And if you have any questions, again, please leave the comments in the comments section below. I've also included in the description of this video a link to the JEUNESSE opportunity. So go ahead and click through on that. And remember, the first thing you have to do is get in and get started. So if you want to do that today, the link is there for you. And I highly encourage you to start today on your journey towards success. All right. So once again, thanks for watching. And we'll hope to see you in part 2 of this video on the 4 things you have to do in any multi-level marketing organization. Thanks again, and see you in the next training session. Bye.